Welcome to the Goof and Goober Show. You decide who's the goof and who's the goober. Join Matthew and Regan as they talk all things from their own personal life questions to reviews on movies and TV shows. Now, your hosts, Regan and Matthew.
What is going on? It's your boys. We're back. Another week, another podcast. We're here, guys. We're here to have some good old fun. It is episode 18. We're creeping in on episode 20, which means we are 1/5 away, almost 1/5 away, I should say,
From
to 100.
120?
Yeah.
Oh.
120. No, that would be 1/6. With me though is none other, and if you heard him already, is your boy, the man, the myth. It's my favorite guy, Matthew Leathers. Matthew, how's it going?
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen of the Goof and Goober Show? We had a pretty good pre-show.
It was a hot debate going on.
A hot debate.
There. A hot debate. And if you guys don't know, Matthew and I, we are ones that are okay with disagreeing with each other, and totally being okay with it. Like at the end of the day, I love you, Matt, and nothing's gonna change that. No matter how big of a disagreement we have, no matter how big the disagreement is. And that's one of the things that why I love our relationship so much is because I really feel like I could just say whatever I want with you, and you're gonna tell me the truth, and you're gonna be honest with me, and if I think it's true, then I'm gonna go with it. Which is why I think that if I am a boss, the other people can define the culture of the company.
Yeah, drop your comments down below. The argument was, my stance on it was that culture is driven from the top down, especially in the context is a smaller company.
No, that's not what you're saying.
That's what
you're
we're
saying.
About.
Culture is driven by the owner down.
Yeah, it starts with him. Absolutely. And
the owner
Regan opposes it. Drop your thoughts down below.
And I said it's defined by the leadership.
Yep. He thinks it starts from the bottom up.
That's not what I said. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening in. If you guys are listening wherever you are, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, live, drop a comment. Let us know you're here. So we can just tell you that we love you and you're amazing. And what volume of actually, what's your favorite Fast and Furious movie?
Never watched any.
Or what is your favorite Transformer movie? Drop it down in the comments. Matthew, what's your favorite Transformer movie?
Never watched Fast and Furious. Transformers. It's a toss-up between. Does the animated movie count?
Sure, why not? You can do whatever Transformers.
It's the toss-up between the 1988, I think is what it is, Transformers
the TV
movie.
Series?
No, the movie.
Oh,
there's a movie. Yep, and
movie?
then
is it animated though?
Yeah, it's like a cartoon. It's a toss-up between that or Shia LaBeouf's first Transformers.
I think
that was just a classic, hilarious. Shia LaBeouf was just so awkward and hilarious in that movie. It was great.
The 1986, the Transformers.
Yeah,
I don't even know. Yeah, I mean, there's the new one that just came out. I feel like just a little bit ago. Anyways, but I think.
Maybe
it's got to be the Dark Side of the Moon. I don't know why.
The dark side of the moon.
But yeah, Also, if you're listening on the podcast through Spotify, through the Google's Spot or Apple Podcast, guys, leave us a rating. We would just, it'd be helpful for our stream, helpful for just the community, and the culture that we're creating as a team together, not as an individual.
It comes from God, actually. He builds our culture.
That's true. That's true.
Starts from the top.
But there's a lot of times when people had
top,
interactions with Jesus or God, and they talked about where am I? That's where I'm at. Talked to God and kind of had dialogue with God, as He is the author and all. He still listens to us, which is awesome. But that gets into kind of what I wanted to talk about today. There is this Proverbs 31. Well, what do you want to do, man? Do you want to goof around a little bit, or do you want to have a little more?
I say we're the Goof and Goober show. So I
guess
kind of
you're
want
right.
to goof around, but
I guess let's
I don't
goof
mind
around.
a little.
I was, I do like a good Beebs studs, but we are the goofs. I mean, what kind of goofs did we do last week? Did we do any goofs?
Nope.
No, we didn't do any goofs. All right, well, let's goofs. Let's do some goofs. So just to let you know, though, Guardians of the Galaxy, we'll be talking about that today. The different, different things that we got out of it, how we enjoyed it, and we want to hear what you guys also have to say about it. So drop a comment, like it, and share it, as we'll ask for that in all YouTube videos. It's just we're trying to be like everybody else. That's really what we're trying to do. You better not be doing what I think you are doing right now. Yeah, that's the one screen, but the other screen is what I need to see. What was that, huh?
This is Facebook. I pulled up our link
and
I swapped.
Typical. Okay, so what did I wanted us to do a scenario, because last time I think with the scenarios are a good bit, and Matthew, the thing is too is you got your voice changer, and that would help so well.
Get your bugger, boy! Get over here, boy!
And you this switching between voices goes so well.
It's so
freaking great. It's so sweet.
I love it so much.
For the worst. Oh gosh, I can't believe it. What are you doing,
Scarlet?
Oh, all right. Well, I'm trying to think of a situation. Let's see. Weird.
Ooh.
What would be a cool situation?
Sir, I've got a situation. You're driving in your car. You're getting pulled over by a friggin' police officer. I'm the police officer, and you're the passenger or driver, or vice versa.
Okay. Wait, what?
Yep. And you're we're pulling you over because your fender.
Okay, I got one.
broken.
Don't worry.
Okay, go ahead.
So we're at a party. I see you. You see me, and I come up to you and I introduce. Well, I don't introduce myself. I basically started up a conversation with you, and you have no idea what my name is. Okay, and I clearly know who you are, and like have shown that we've met before, and I've introduced myself, and I've told you
My goal
name.
is to try to get
So
your name.
your goal is to extract my name from myself, okay?
Without asking.
Without asking me what my name is. So or do you? Yeah. So let me
I like
let me.
that. I like that.
Okay, so let me look up a name first. Should it be a man or a woman?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna be a woman. Nah, I'm gonna be a man. I'm sorry. Men name. All right. Yep. Okay, here I go.
Just walk away. My name is Matthew.
All right, here we go. I got him my name for him, and I'm trying to come up with the backstory right now.
Starting in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And action.
Wait, are you playing a kid?
I'm playing the girl.
You're playing a girl? Okay, and I'm playing the guy. Okay, here we go. And what's your name? What are you going to go with your name then, if you're going to be a girl?
Jeffany.
Jeffany, hey, long time no see. Oh my gosh, come here.
Oh my gosh, nice to see you.
What's going on? I haven't seen you since like the last time that like what were we, like kids or something? I mean, not even kids. I mean just a couple weeks ago actually.
Yeah. I've just been
Jeffany,
been working.
Yeah, I mean, how are your? I remember you telling me about your sisters, and and some stuff was going on with them. So I mean, like, how are they doing?
Well, Alessandra just got down. She just got the vid.
Oh,
she got the vid. She's screwed. She's in the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
And Francesca, Jeffany, and everybody. My mom got a divorce, so we're literally living by ourselves separately. She lives with her boyfriend. She got the COVID. How are you? How's your?
Oh my
Do you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend? Or
I'm single actually. I mean, are you? Are you single?
Kind of. I'm
Okay,
I'm living with a couple of some friends from back in the day. You remember?
Yeah, I mean,
you remember
like
Steve? You remember Steve?
What's his last
what
name?
class? You had class with him, right?
What's his last name?
Herzalot.
Oh,
Steve Herzalot.
It's not ringing a bell in my head. I mean, what class would have been in with him?
It would have been speech, I think. Because you guys, oh, that's right. Because you guys had to do some speech therapy stuff. So like, you had trouble saying how do you say your name again? Because I know you have a little accent on there.
No.
I'm not good with accents. I'm not good with accents. Come on.
I have no accent to my name. Do you? I don't even remember being in speech therapy. Do you know who I am?
Oh my gosh! Of course.
Jeffany,
hold up. I'm getting a call really quick here. 1 second.
I cannot believe this right now.
Hello.
I cannot pour out my heart.
Yeah. You want to say hi? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Here you go.
Hello?
How are you?
Who's this?
This is Francesca.
Francesca. I
How are you, girlfriend?
I'm a man.
Well, yeah, of course.
That's highly. I don't like this conversation. I'm done.
Are you
I'm done.
transphobic?
A little
Oh
bit now because he can't remember my
Oh
name.
my heavens. He's transphobic. Oh no.
I cannot believe you right
How
now.
dare he?
You lost
you know
so
what? I'm
bad.
gonna go press charges right now.
Gosh.
Sir, I just called 911. How do you spell your name? So I can file a police report?
Well, if you must know, it's William. That's my full. I mean,
So there
my
is an
actual-
accent. Wilhelm.
It's like no.
Wilhelm.
I've only told you my nickname though. That's my like actual like birth. It's like on my driver's license name.
Yeah, that's how I know you from. Wilhelm. Remember we went to the bar? You got ID'd, and the guy said, William? And you said, no, it's Wilhelm. And then we got through. Huh. Will, I know who you are.
I
You're
don't know.
ridiculous.
I don't know. This is. I think you lost right off the bat, Matthew.
I think
'cause
I
you
was set
asked-
up to lose from the beginning.
You had the right way. Well, asking that way by going by. Oh, you offended me. I need your full name to report it to
Hey,
the.
You know what? Guess what? Sometimes all you have to do is just say racism or transphobia, and you can win.
Right, but you didn't go that route. You asked me what's your name again? How do you? I can't.
I never said that.
Yeah, you did.
I said, how do you pronounce your name again?
Yeah. It's asking for my name. By asking for my name, that's asking for what my name is.
Shut your mouth. All right? Shut your freaking mouth.
Oh gosh. I don't care. Oh gosh. What is going on right now? Okay. We could do a couple more here situations. Let's try. Let's try this one. This one's kind of cool. So we're having a conversation. Well, there's no.
Please.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is a good one. Okay. So we're in the grocery store. You're the cashier. Okay. Well, actually, no. You got the voice thing. So I'm the cashier in this. Okay.
Hold up. There's somebody at my door.
What the heck? Oh no. Matthew's about to get mugged here. Who is it? No. Oh no. Feel like a child. And then Scarlett's just right there. Dad. Hi, Scarlett. Oh, come on, camera. Just focus for me. Hello. Hi. Hi.
Loud. Say hi. Don't whisper. Say hi. Say hi.
Kill you. Well, okay, so you're a kid. So when you're next in line at the grocery store with your mom and she leaves you to just get one more thing, and the anxiety and awkwardness builds because you're up and she's nowhere to be found.
Wait, say that one more time.
So you're the child, I'm the cashier. You're with your mom and she tells you, "Oh, I got to get one more thing. Hang on, you stay here. And I'm just going to get one more thing." She leaves, and while she leaves, you get pushed up to the cashier, and you're set up where you're just waiting now for your mom to pay. And it's that awkward silence and awkwardness between you and the cashier and the conversation. This is the conversation between the cashier and the child. So here we go. Beep. 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 Okay, that'll be looks like 20 to 195.27.
Well,
My mom, she had to go get one more thing. Just she'll be right back.
We kind of have a long line. Does she leave you with anything like to possibly like
What it is?
well,
what's your name?
there's
Oh, what'd you say?
Stephanie.
What did you say before that, Stephanie?
My name is Stephanie.
Well, before that.
My mom's coming right back. I'm not allowed to talk to strangers. So
Okay.
I'm really sorry.
Well, I kind of have
Can
like
Borrow?
like
Can I borrow your phone? So I'll call her really quick or something.
What's her phone number? I'll put it in here real quick.
I don't know her phone number, so that's actually never mind.
But then
let me go see if I can get her.
Well, hey, gosh.
She
well, I
said she'll
kind of
be
got
here
I
really
got
quick.
a line kind of here.
I'm sorry.
Got a big family?
No,
Stephanie?
Just-
no. Well,
just us two.
you and your mom?
Yeah, but I really can't
talk to strangers.
That's totally fine. You totally.
Last time, I got into some really bad trouble. Bad trouble.
Listen here, Stephanie. I'm a real man, okay? Hey. Listen here, I'm talking to you.
sorry.
Your mom She seems pretty lonely. She seems like she needs a real man. Why don't I take her out tonight, huh? You could have a good night too.
Well, I just really wanted to get
chocolates. That's why we came to the store. I just want to get some chocolates because I just really like chocolates. So that way I can watch my iPad. And then whittly outside, I'm gonna do the Gwitty. White outside. Whittly, I'm gonna do the Gwitty outside.
Please, I would
Yeah.
want to say you do.
You want
that.
to see?
I. Interesting. It's a good Gwitty.
Yeah. So literally, after this, I'm gonna get my chocolate. I'm literally gonna go Gwitty outside.
What about do you have a twuck?
We just have
With your mommy.
just a car. Mom.
She's that way. You've been looking over on that
Mom!
that yeah. The other
she'll
side.
be here any
Second now, I promise. Hey, Mom.
My mom's.
She's coming at some point.
Yeah,
But
don't worry
once I
about
get
it.
done here, I'm gonna get some chocolate and whittly.
Hey, I could give you some.
Whittly. Can you show me how you Gwitty?
I think if you I don't know about that. If you're
Oh,
really
my
see
mom's
that.
here.
Your mom sounds very childish. This is bad. Oh my gosh. It looks like your mom's wearing a wedding ring. You didn't tell me she was married. Oh gosh.
She's a widow. You gotta pay for the groceries. We're at the grocery store right now, and you have to pay for the groceries. You left me for 5 minutes.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Look,
I guess I'll just go put those
I-
groceries
like,
back.
I
Let me
didn't
put
wanna
those
tell
groceries
you.
Back.
Look,
really
hey,
quick.
hey, I didn't want to.
I'm gonna put
I
them
didn't
back
want the
for
guy
you.
to. I didn't want to be the guy to tell you this, or your mom to your mom to tell you in front of me that you were adopted. Oh gosh. It's the voice was perfect.
I was like, come on, Kaylee, get in here. This is
The-
your shot.
The voice was like perfect, and the desk and just seeing your eyes, it was perfect. It was great. Yeah, I don't know. That was. I think it went on for way too long than it needed to be, but
Yeah,
it was great.
it was pretty long.
And then here's my impression of you're at somebody else's house other than your own, and you clog their toilet. Oh gosh! No, not here, not now. Unclog.
Oh, really?
Oh gosh. And scene. Yes.
I just got 2 hits of 2 hits like it's a drug of 2 sniffs, big sniffs of the old smelling salts.
So good. All right. Well, that will do it for our good old improv just goofing around. One of the things that we do to goof around. One of our bits that we do.
Dude, oh my gosh, we need to go to an improv night.
Oh gosh, please no.
You remember improv nights? Those were the best.
Yeah, at Crown College.
Oh man, I don't think they do them anymore.
Oh, they must have. No way was he in that.
Zach Castor ran that, man.
No, he was so good, man. He's
So
my
good,
favorite.
man. He was so good, dude.
He was my
So
man.
good.
He was so good. All right. Well, let's get down to the business, everyone. This
Let's
is
down to business.
what
To
we've been
defeat.
getting down to and what we've been up to, guys. We are going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We're gonna go into this. Here we go. Let's just go into the synopsis, and then a little bit about just right off the get-go. Still reeling from the loss of Gamora, Peter Quill must rally his team to defend the universe and protect one of their own. If the mission is not completely successful, it could possibly lead to the end of the Guardians as we know them. This is directed by none other than James Gunn with a budget of $250 million. I wonder how much they've made. That's a good question to ask right now.
I think
Is
100
this
million this
100 million?
this last weekend.
How much has Guardians made? 773 million so far. With a budget of 250. They're made some money off of that, guys. Produced by Kevin Feige, screenplay by James Gunn. This is starring some of the returning with Chris Pratt, Bradley Cooper, Dave Bautista,
Dave Bautista.
Van Diesel,
Vin
and
Diesel.
Pom Klementieff.
Oh my gosh. See, this is the problem. Regan was homeschooled, so his mom was like, you know what? This is really hard. We're going to move past this.
They bring back a lot of people in this. Volume 1 and Volume 2, like Sean Gunn, which is the brother of James Gunn with Craiglin. Who else they bring back here? You got Nebula, but she's always been in Guardians. I don't know. It's just interesting, but some new cast guys is Chukwudi Iwuji. And then we got Will Poulter. Who's some new people? Oh, Nico Santos, if you remember him from Unbreakable. And with Kimmy Schmidt. Let's kind of do a non-spoiler review here. Talk about this, Matthew. Non-spoiler. What you think of it with a good old rating? What are you thinking?
I'm giving it a 5 out of 5.
Wow.
Yep. 5 out of 5. 99.9999999%. Can't give something a perfect, but it's perfect, close enough. we round up.
Okay, you want to give like why?
Here is why. Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, Bradley Cooper as Rocket, Dave Bautista as Drax. Every character had a little piece of the pie. There
Mhm.
wasn't a real central focus on one specific person in terms of being like the center of attention the entire time. They all had their own piece at certain times, and it meshed really, really well. It was a very emotional movie. It was a very funny movie. It was a very action-packed movie, and it hit on every single piece. And I compare it almost to Infinity War. We feel loss. We feel an emotional shift, like the Guardians are going to lose, essentially. And then, just like in Endgame, you see there's some winning, and that's kind of be my general non-spoiler topics here. I really felt like a big wave, but it was a nice smooth wave that it didn't just like hit you and you're out of it for that one moment, but it like built and then it decompressed really well, and then it rode the wave really high, and then it rode down very very smooth, and it was just a nice flowing movie in my opinion. So
Yeah, I think for me, to be honest, I mean it was a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I think it was one of those movies. I don't know. I think with Guardians of the Galaxy and the Volume 1 and Volume 2, you got. I think out of all the volumes, Volume 1 was the best. I don't think I think Volume 3 topped Volume 2 for sure. Just because Volume 2 focused more on Quill, and this Volume 3 focuses on really the whole. Not necessarily. I think this one focuses more on Rocket than everyone else. And that's that's fine, and that's a good thing because it's showing that the Guardians of the Galaxy isn't based on Quill. So for this, I would say, yeah, I loved it. I think it was a great movie. For that, I give it like a 4.8, 4.9. I think there could have been a little bit more, just better song choices. Maybe bring it back to some of the old song choices that they have. I guess at the very end they did replay one of the songs, but yeah, that's one of the things about the Guardians of the Galaxy. They don't really replay any of the songs. So, but yeah, I think it was really well done. I'm really excited. It just gets me a little bit more excited to see what James Gunn is going to be able to do with DC and what he can do with DC, with kind of given that whole universe. So yeah, I think it was really well done. You get a lot of stakes. You get a lot of what's in it for everyone. You get a lot of in depth.
asparagus.
Yeah, you get a lot of in depth of what's going on with all the other guys, all the other Guardians, and you're like you're rooting for them pretty much the whole time, trying to figure out. Yeah. So that's really, I guess that's really what I want to say. So let's just put a spoiler right here. Matthew and I are going to talk a little bit about a little bit more in depth, a little bit more. So if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, you can pause it here if you want, unless you want to keep listening and kind of want to just kind of go through the spoilers without seeing it, and that's totally fine, guys. Spoiler.
Spoiler warning. Spoilers. 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 This is your spoiler warning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
You're the worst.
If you don't want to
so yeah,
listen to any spoilers, this is your shot.
Spoiling. So let's get into it. So let's start with kind of the beginning where I think we could maybe take this character by character. And how each character kind of and how you felt like the movie did with representing the character. And is there any specific character that you specifically wanted to start with, Matthew?
I really want to talk about Gamora.
Okay.
Because Gamora just kind of pissed me off throughout the entire movie, to be honest with you.
Right.
Like, halfway through the movie, I was like, okay, kill her off. I literally told Regan, I don't care, kill her off. She's a dick.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know it's a different Gamora, but it was literally just a different timeline, like they just went back in time. That's all they did.
It's not.
So it's the same Gamora, just a different time.
I agree. I think, yeah, I was pissed off too because Gamora, like the whole her and Quill, you just wanted them and you know that you can be with this and you liked him at some points in this part that you're like, just be with the guy. And then
he's literally suffering.
Like, and you see that, I guess you shouldn't be with somebody just because they're suffering, but you should be with them because you're actually wanting to be with them. And you could see that at a point where she's like, you know what? I bet we had a lot of fun. But I can't have fun with you because I'm not her. Like, yes, you are. You are her. You would have fun with him. It's just like so frustrating to see. Like, you would have way more fun if you were with Quill, and you saw his, like, the closeness. Because I guess you don't really know what happens to Gamora because we're getting when Gamora comes in, you see that she's part of like this pirate gang, the Ravagers. And so she's joined the Ravagers, and so she's basically not part of the Ravagers, but then doing whatever with them. And then I don't know what the Ravagers are like from what Quill, and the only info we have about what the Ravagers are like is from Quill, and that the Ravagers are not very likely people. They're very blunt and usually not caring and do whatever they want. And double cross you at the very end. So like when you saw like the camaraderie between the Guardians and their whole society that they created, you would be like, and you saw Gamora kind of standing in the background. You're like, come on, just join in on the hug with everyone.
Yeah,
I was
like, you're a dick. I don't like you.
You're a dick.
And the problem is my whole thing is like when you think about the end game, right? We get a new Thanos, we get a new Gamora, right? Thanos dies. Where does Gamora go? Not with Thanos or his people. She goes with the Ravagers, right? So what that tells you is that she didn't actually care about Thanos, or she was against Thanos, if that makes sense, right? Because why would she go with the Ravagers, right? She went with the Ravagers, and it's the same. It's literally the same.
It's the same,
but she's like just being a jerk because she's like, it's not me.
But the other thing,
Gamora.
I guess I can see it in your way, but the other way is that like Gamora still doesn't know who he is, and it took her like if we look at Volume 1 and what it took for them to really connect, because Gamora was pretty much still all alone. She didn't have like anything, and so it really is a test, or not a test, but a echoing that is like the first group you join is like your first love.
She is
never leave.
Quill's Tess.
But it's not even
She is
that.
Quill's
But
Tess.
what if? Okay, but what if it's not Tess that he? What if it's another girl?
I'm messing with you.
Yeah,
From The
right. You're
Last of
not.
Us. From The Last of Us, you're like, she's gonna be the new Tess. She's gonna be the new Tess.
Well, she was the new daughter. I didn't say that. I was
Yes, you
asking
did.
good
Go back and listen to
questions. I will. I
You
will.
did. No, I was just messing with you. But my thing is like, like that was the same Gamora, right? The only thing that changed is that the timing of meeting
Right, the
Quill.
time of
That's
everything.
it.
Right. But
Everything
the
was
time,
the same.
right. But the thing is that the Ravagers got to her first than Quill did, because the way that they had met Quill and her met, was through the orb thing that they were trying to steal from each other, and then also tried to take down Thanos / get what's his name from Volume 1.
Ronan.
Yeah, Ronan. So like that whole thing, that's what we gotta kind of think about here is that Thanos is dead pretty much when she comes in onto this timeline.
Yep.
As well as Ronan. So her whole life is now just free for anything. And the first people to get her, though, is the Ravagers. So her first love, technically...
Wait, when did they get the Ravagers? When did she get the Ravagers? At the end of Endgame.
Yeah, at the end of Endgame, didn't she?
Gamora and Peter were talking. I don't remember how she got the Ravagers.
She just left. I think we have to look at... we have to look at...
Is it Thor: Love and Thunder?
Yeah, I think we have to look at Thor: Love and Thunder, because they leave, but she's not with him with Thor and Love and Thunder.
I don't remember.
I don't know, because Thor: Love and Thunder is just Thor with the Guardians, and they're just traveling around. And you don't get actually. This is the other thing, is that you don't get context of nowhere, because they're already in. The time frame isn't necessarily adding. I don't know, because
so if you go back to episode or Volume 1 or Volume 2, they do talk about nowhere being
right.
That's an actual. That's
No,
like a space head or something.
I remember that, but like we're told in Thor: Love and Thunder, which is basically the last time we see. Well, no, because the last time
you didn't
we
watch
saw
the
them,
Christmas special, did you?
No, I was just saying that. I was just going to say that. But like, how did they get there? Like, how did they make the society? How did they get everybody? Like, you don't.
Well, they already had a society there. There was already a society there.
Yeah, but basically no. But there isn't already a society there. But the Guardians are basically now running that society.
It's got to be culture, man. The leaders from the top.
Shut up.
Yeah, see,
like,
they run this. They run this.
But what?
Who's above them?
How did they get to that?
I think
how did
somewhere
they
in the
decide,
timeline,
or how did they become the leaders of that of the whole?
Somewhere along in the timeline, I'm sure.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I think they should have maybe explained.
I think that's where they could use a TV show of Rocket running a team there. I think they could, but giving it some backstory.
I think that would be cool if they did do a Guardians TV show with Rocket. Still,
I think
after this,
I think they set it up pretty good.
Right, I agree. I think that would be fantastic, and what a great TV show.
Oh, I would
to
love
say
it.
the least. I think that would be.
Can I talk about Will Poulter as Adam Warlock now?
Dude, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, first off, I'm going to change my score to a 4.9 because of Will Poulter. Yeah? I really was expecting him to be a BA.
I mean, from what we saw from the commercials, what were you expecting?
I was expecting him to be a BA. They
what-
pictured him as being
like
like
what would
this-
that be?
Like just a dominant force,
Okay,
killing people. Like
like he.
I wanted
wasn't-
him to be the
yeah.
main. I wanted him to be the main, like one of the main villains. That's what I wanted. But he just kind of was just a side villain, to be honest
He-
with you.
Well, it seemed like he actually now is a good guy.
Yeah.
At the end. But like from what I understand is that I mean, I didn't know too much about Adam Warlock except from at Volume 2 when about his society and that they messed around. But this is an interesting concept and an idea, or what they kind of did with him, because they made it seem like he was basically a child, in kind of like Shazam, in his maturity, because he was basically a clone, and they were developing him, and they took him out too early because they needed him to do something, and so his maturity and his intelligence wasn't the greatest, because
So there's, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but there's a list here that states that Adam Warlock is the second strongest hero in the entire universe. In the universe there.
who's being the first? Who would be the first?
Franklin Richards.
Franklin Richards? I don't even think
Yeah.
I heard of that guy. Who the heck is Franklin?
He's the son of Reed Richards and Sue Storm. Yeah. But they say Adam Warlock is number 2. And I guess I'll read it here. His ranking is, oh, the fact that he was powerful enough to replace the living tribunal from after the Beyonders killed it to restore the universe.
Well, then they did a poor job.
He's got cosmic level abilities. He possesses super
Yeah,
strength,
that-
flight, cosmic projection. I mean,
If-
yes, we saw glimpses of that. And yes, he was fairly young, is what they were saying, is that he's really young and immature. So maybe he does get more powerful.
But maybe. But the thing is, though, is that if he is still, I mean, if he's already like the second strongest person at his peak, but he's still like whatever. I mean, he's probably in his teenager years, probably. I don't know but he still probably has some strength and probably be a lot stronger than what's his name.
Yeah, but it's like if you don't know what your power is, it's like a dog who thinks it's like really small and it like overdoes it and doesn't really know its own strength. It's kind of opposite for him, is he's a young kid who doesn't really know his strength yet. Maybe
I mean,
because he was just willy nilly doing crap. Actually,
Doing
you know what? I'm going with that theory. Because they kept talking about, because they brought in the evolutionary and he was like, he's really young, he's really immature with his power, and he was able to just throw the guy up there, which I don't think, I mean, he probably doesn't know his power enough to be able to not get thrown around like that. Or when he was flying through the city, he was just hitting crap left and right and then got caught. So like,
but
he seems very immature and not ready for his powers, and I think that's where he's going to build into a character.
But
like an actual good character.
I'm thinking of when he and Drax faced off, and they had like Drax was able to basically kind of keep up with his strength.
Yeah.
And I don't think Drax is that strong. I don't think Drax is really going to be the very.
Drax took bullets. He took bullets.
When?
Yeah. In the holiday special, the police officer shot him and he took bullets.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're strong.
He is strong. He's Drax the Destroyer.
Yeah, just because
Yes.
you're Drax the Destroyer doesn't mean you're strong. It just means you might be good at.
Drax the Destroyer power rankings. Let's see where he ranks on the scale.
Let's
here.
yeah, that'll help. What does he rank? Does he have a ranking?
He's above Star-Lord.
Yeah. Oh wow, that is so good to know. I had no idea. What is it? What is it though?
I'm looking.
I mean, what? I mean, how do you know he's above Star Lord? And
I
then
saw a ranking, but it was just of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
He's 26.
out of that. I mean, who's above him?
Who's above him?
Yeah.
Okay. These might all be Shuri is above him. Black Panther, Shuri. Wasp, Groot, Okoye.
Groot is stronger than him.
It's power rankings. Yeah. If it came to death, Groot could kill him easily.
Well, I agree.
He's a big dumb thesaurus.
But then
Don't ever call me a
I guess
thesaurus.
I guess I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying is that he was still able to contain what's his face, and Groot wasn't.
Who?
Groot. Drax was able to
Wasn't
contain,
able to contain who?
Warlock.
That's why I'm saying I think Adam Warlock was not fully able to use his powers yet.
Yeah.
He didn't know what his powers were.
Yeah, but still, at the same time, if Groot is stronger than Drax or more powerful than Drax, he should have been able to contain Warlock easier than Drax. I guess, I mean, still Drax didn't necessarily contain him. And Groot was able to contain him in some ways.
But you also have to think he's wood.
And he burnt Drax to the frickin'
Look,
burnt
in
him
the
to
end,
the frickin'
in the end,
ground, man.
Drax took bullets in the Christmas special, so Drax is a machine. Okay.
Man, I don't know about that. All right, well, let's keep moving. We're gonna keep moving. We talked about Warlock. Now let's talk about a little bit. I kind of want to leave. Let's talk about the main guy, kind of in this movie, which is Rocket. Rocket in this movie we're kind of revolving the whole story around Rocket and his origin story about how Rocket became this raccoon who can talk and is just beyond.
I'm not a raccoon.
But you find out he is.
Call me a vermin.
Did you see that clip actually from the volume 1?
Yes, where
they
Bradley
say like
Cooper.
Yeah, where they show like that whole clip with when Drax was drunk and getting mad at when Rocket was drunk and getting mad at Drax, and he said like I'm gonna kill him, and Quill's trying to calm him down, and Rocket's like, I didn't ask to be broken out and put back together. And it just gives a whole new meaning to that whole scene for this whole movie, because you get a little bit more of a glimpse of why Rocket is the way he is and why he kind of has where he was and why he was like that. But what do you think about this whole story, Matthew? Was this a good point? I mean, obviously you gave it a 5, so you probably liked it, right?
Yeah, man. I think. So
pros and cons. Why don't you just give me the pros and cons?
Pros and cons. Cons is like I don't like seeing animal cruelty, and that kind of felt bad. But it was the story, and it helped shape the story, so I could live through it. Then. Like there's no real cons of it. The pros are that it finally rounds out the entire story for Rocket. And
yeah,
what I did before I went to go see it, and Regan was like, "Frick, I should have done this." Is I rewatched 1, 2, and the special, the Christmas special, just to get back into the whole Guardians world.
Yeah.
In realizing like, okay, I watched one. They're getting pissed off at each other. He's like, "Call me vermin." You hear the emotion in his voice, and you're like, you don't think as to, okay, there's something bad that happened, but you don't really understand why he's doing that. And understand fully. And so when I went back and watched the third one that night, and he's like, he's going through this whole life trauma, and you're just like, now I understand why he's being so emotional when he says he called me vermin, and you're just like, I even said it in my brain, I was like, gosh, that vermin scene, like I'm thinking about it in my
Mhm.
mind as I was watching it, and I'm like, this guy's got his head ripped open, he got his brain worked on, which we didn't even know
Right.
in the first two movies. We didn't even know that happened until the third
Mhm.
one. His chest was ripped open. We didn't realize like how much this guy, this raccoon, really took. And you realize like Peter and all the people that made fun of him, you're just like, man, you're literally like breaking down a guy who his life was ruined from the day he was born, like, and
Right.
taken away from him, the people he loved. Like, I just felt so it completed the story, and that's where most of the emotion came from for me. Watching it is just like, man, I thought it was funny in the first one when they called him or the second one when they called him a trash panda, and he was like, "What's a trash panda?" And Quill goes, "It's much worse," and he gets mad at it, and I'm just like, man, that like. I thought it was funny at the time, but now that I'm seeing number 3, you're just like,
You're a jerk.
I respect Rocket as a character even more now that I've seen episode 3 and know his backstory a little bit more, and
Yeah.
why he is the way he is in pushing people away is because he doesn't want to be hurt by losing people.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's a really good, it was just a really good story around.
This really made it more heartwarming and heartfelt, and you really get attached to Rocket in this one because you get attached to him by going through basically his life and what he felt by being basically a lab animal, and him having relationships with these other groups of animals, and they were able to communicate and talk and have a relationship, and then in the end they kill him off, and like that whole thing. And you see the frustration in Rocket when he goes and it basically almost kills the high evolutionary and just rips out his face. And you kind of feel in that moment for Rocket because he's just going through a lot, and you're just like at that moment when you're like, okay, he's now moving on, and then meets Groot, and him and Groot create a relationship with each other that is a sharp bond between each other, which is kind of good to know in the end, is that that's going to happen, is that he's going to meet Groot after that, and you're like, oh, awesome. It's not like Gamora where you're like, yeah, you guys need to get together, like, and this would be fantastic and it would be great for everyone, but they don't put them together, and it's sad to see that, and you oh, excuse me, you just want the best for them, and you want the best for Rocket. And in the end it really works out, because like this whole time as well, like when we're preparing to watch this movie, and like we've trying to like dissect the trailers, dissect what's going to happen in this whole movie, we're like, oh, someone's going to die, because there's somebody's carrying, you think, oh, it's going to be Quill because Nebula is holding Quill, and he looks dead, or it's just like this is the last movie with the Guardians, so it's gonna be the end. But it was surprising actually to see nobody basically dying and everyone's still alive, and it kind of gives me a little bit of hope still that Quill and Gamora will eventually work out in some way. I don't know how they're going to do that, and we can talk more about Peter Quill and all that stuff, but I think that's probably what we're going to be talking to next, because man, we could talk about Drax. We could talk a lot.
We could talk about everybody. Holy,
I mean, we could too.
it'd be a 3-hour stream.
Yeah, it would be a very long stream because there is a lot to go with Groot and Drax, and I do want to say this about Drax and Mantis. It is great to see such good characters who are funny, but you get to see a little bit of a serious side to them in this movie. Where Drax, you see that he's not just a destroyer, but he is a father, and that he really, that's who he was, and that's the origin of Drax. From basically Volume 1 is because he was trying to get revenge on Thanos because he killed his family. And it's good to see Mantis move on from basically try to find her own way in life and move on from that. It's sad to see that. It was very sad to see everyone just move away from each other at the end. And I wanted to cry. Really did. And but they didn't get me. I didn't necessarily cry. I almost did, but I didn't. I'm a man.
I didn't cry either, but I was chuckling a little bit. I was I was wiping my eyes a little bit.
Don't you dare. All right.
I think I just wanted to say, I think in this movie we also see, like, we're seeing a group that had formed together, and we see it in episode 2, and then we saw it in Infinity War, and then in Endgame, and now we see it in 3, where it comes to basically a conclusion, where we've built up this team of people who love each other. You see them in Thor: Love and Thunder. You see it in the Christmas special. Like, these people care about each other, and now at the end of the movie, we're just like, we're all basically going to go separate ways for the most part. Like, some people are still going to be together, but like some of the main characters, we're going to be like, hey, we're splitting up. I've got to deal with this. You've got to deal with that. We've got to deal with this. And it's just like, when that happened personally, I was like, man, we had something good here. Like,
right, yeah.
It's like, why for me personally, why do we got to split it up? Like, this is perfect. Like,
but
we want them to come back because we love these characters so much. And I'm so sad that I really do hope we see these come back to life and back to character on the screen. Obviously, and I guess we'll allude to it at one of the end credit scenes. We find out that Star-Lord is going to come back at some point. But it doesn't, for me, it's just not the same. Like, I love Peter, I love Chris Pratt, but I love Drax, I love Mantis.
This is what I think
all of them.
What we got to get down to. I mean, we can talk about Peter Quill, but I think we're going to move on from Peter Quill, because I mean, this is kind of deals with that end credit, because Peter Quill, and we got to pretty much the majority of what Peter Quill was dealing with through the whole movie was with Gamora. But
we could tell him kind of the end credit. Talk about that real quick.
That's what I wanted to talk about, is this end credit, as well as the ending of it, because we do get that there's a new Guardians with Rocket as the leader now, and this is kind of this new path for the Guardians, for possibly, I mean, we don't necessarily know anything yet, but for a possible movie / TV show. And I think it would be really good for a TV show for them, as these are kind of, well, the actors are, you got Bradley Cooper, you got Will Poulter, you got, who else is in it? You got some Maria Bakalova. I don't know who this woman is. Who plays Cosmo, and then you got Sean Gunn, who plays those guys. Who else was in it? And Groot, and Vin Diesel. So those are major. I mean, you got 3 major actors in there. So you probably can't, unless Disney's willing to pay that much for. I mean, they are willing to do that. I mean, it could be possible. It's still possible.
It's not out of the question.
It's not out of the question. Yeah, you're right, and that's a possibility. Do you think they'll be coming back with another Guardians or TV show or movie?
I think because they said this is it for the Guardians. This group for sure,
Guardians.
I think is done.
Yeah.
Now, I do think they bring a TV show with Rocket being the leader. 1,000%.
Okay.
1,000%. That end scene where they're going to attack those things, they're setting up another TV show, another group. It may not be Guardians of the Galaxy. It may be something else, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yes, I think 1,000%. That's why they set it up. If they're not going to do it, I'm going to be very upset and not too happy with it, because I think even that group is a good group still.
Right, I agree. But that begs the question then to the end credit of Peter Quill, because in the end they talk about Peter Quill or Star-Lord will return. How is Star-Lord going to return then?
I think Avengers.
In your opinion,
I think Avengers.
Secret War?
No, not Secret War.
What do you think?
Unless they go a different flavor, with how Secret Wars actually went, because he wasn't in Secret Wars originally. Mantis was, if I'm not mistaken. Mantis was, I think. I'd have to look. I've got the book over there, but I'll look. I do think Kang Dynasty. I think one of those he'll come back. Secret Wars possibly. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's going to be one of those group ones, or he's going to get his own TV show of him and Gamora.
I was going to ask you, do you think they could do like their own kind of spin-off TV show of him with kind of Mandalorian or Obi-Wan type thing, which that's totally possible. I mean, from where they left off, Peter Quill is with his basically grandpa and just trying to restore his relationship with his grandpa. I'm curious in that whole scene though to find out who his grandpa's wife's son is, because in that scene they talked about mowing the lawn. Are you playing your game right now?
I'm literally not playing my game, dude. Do you want to see? I'm not playing my game. No games are being played. There's no games being played.
All right, I believe you.
I was just pulling up notes. That's all I was doing.
All right.
I was trying to see if there was any fan theories of what they're going to do with Star-Lord.
Well, I think for me, I hope that I guess it'd be better to have a TV series. I'm getting more and more liking of TV series than I used to, because TV series, you get a lot more. You can get a lot more in depth of the character and just know more of the backstory of a character and more invested into a story than a movie. Because a movie you only get 2 to 3 hours, whereas a TV series you could get 10 hours if you wanted, over a span. You just and that to me is just way better. Unless what if they made a 10-hour movie? Would you watch that?
A 10-hour movie in spurts?
No, I guess so. Yeah, if you wanted to, they give you every 2 hours they give you a bathroom break / concession break, and it's a full day of just watching this one movie.
Yeah, I could do 10. Well,
I mean, that's a
don't
full
know.
day. That's basically a full
That's a
day.
day.
That's like a
If it was at the
full
theater?
investment. Yeah, a theater, and you get that's.
I mean, to be fair, I've watched all 3 of the Lord of the Rings extended versions in one day. So
That's a long day, dude.
That's a long
like,
day.
That's 10 hours straight right there, pretty much.
So yeah, I think I could.
I mean, if it's, I mean,
It wasn't a
has
very
to-
good choice.
but it would have to be super good, like Lord of the Rings type caliber, type of movie though, and you'd have to know that. So I think
Right.
I think what's good about TV series is that if you don't like it, you just I'll watch one episode and I'll move on. But if you do like it, then you can, and you really invest into it, you can put in those 10 hours days kind of thing. But
But I really like the episode stuff.
what episode stuff? There's any
Like
episode stuff?
doing a TV show.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you there. I think that would be.
I just wish they put as much effort and time in the TV shows as they do
It's-
the movies.
Yeah, and then
'Cause
right
it's-
now though, like Chris Pratt is, I think he hit his peak and he's kind of coming down, from his peak. I mean, he's still at a really high level with Guardians and then Mario. Really, I mean, this summer he's hitting it off.
Oh
with
shoot, you're
really
right.
two of the best movies so far this year, and killing it as and
One of the two, yeah.
yeah, as one of the main characters and as one of them, and he's doing it pretty well. But I'm curious to see what his acting and where he's going to go after this, because these are really main points for him, and this might be maybe the last kind of hurrah for him. And I think
I don't think he's a one and done though.
No, he's definitely not a one and done now. I think people love Chris Pratt, but I think people are like, well, kind of want somebody else now. And that's, I think, just how Hollywood works. Is just that I like a guy for a little while, and then he was great, and we'll keep up with him. But I think somebody else needs to come in the spotlight, and people are going to care a little bit more about you. And that's, I think,
who
gonna
I
happen
haven't
with
seen in
James
a
Gunn.
while,
What?
and I wish would be able to see more?
Who?
Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I think
We
that's a
haven't
good
seen
idea.
him since.
Like in the backstory, like maybe in the end credits. Are you talking about
At all. We haven't seen him since
the
Shang-Chi.
movie?
Yeah. It's been 3 years.
That's true. Do you think there's a reason?
I don't know. I was just thinking about you were bringing up characters that they bring in and out. I was like, I really haven't seen Shang-Chi in forever.
That's a good point, actually. I think, yeah. I mean, we could talk about this. I mean, you and I could talk about this
All day.
all day.
My thing is like, okay, and because if we go any longer, then it's going to be a really long
It's going to be a
but-
pretty long potty.
My thing is the direction that they take now by getting rid of Drax, they get rid of all of these characters basically out of the MCU and the Avengers, Kang Dynasty, those movies moving forward, right? Is that we've got to be bringing back characters that we forgot about, like Shang-Chi, for an example. I haven't heard from him in forever.
Right.
Or America Chavez from Doctor Strange himself, or I guess we got Wong in She-Hulk. But She-Hulk was
He's getting his own
disaster.
TV series too, though.
What?
I thought he was getting his own TV series.
Huh.
I swear he was.
Maybe he is. I don't know.
What's his name again?
Wong, Wang. But yeah, I just think
Oh
And
gosh.
this is where Secret Invasion coming up, and I think that comes out, dude. I'm so ready for Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion comes out like this fall at some point. But I feel like that's going to introduce and bring back some characters. I think it's going to pull in some twists. I know it is. Secret Invasion's going to pull in some twists. It's going to pull in some characters because the characters that we know and love now could be completely different because it could be a scroll the entire time. We don't know.
Well, you never know who a scroll is. You don't necessarily know who scrolls are until like they're actually revealed. That's the thing with these scroll things, and it's kind of like I don't know. You're like, what the heck are they gonna do? I don't know, but they're setting everything up for a huge thing to go on. I don't know if you've been paying attention, guys, to Marvel and the craziness that they have brought to the table and perfected it in such a way that everyone's kind of like just in depth of like what are they gonna do now, and I really hope that's what's gonna happen with James Gunn, because he is amazing, especially with what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy and the Marvel Studios there. I really wish him the best of luck here with DC and taking basically the controls for them and flying them out of here.
He's gonna be the Daddy Feige of DC, huh?
Basically, dude. And I really hope he kills it. I think
honestly,
DC,
I'm in good spirits now.
I think DC now, like I said before, I think DC now is going to be the new Marvel. I think DC is going to take over as basically what Marvel was with Iron Man when that came out, when this new Marvel or Superman comes out, and people love it. People are going.
You just love DC.
I mean, I love Batman. I love Superman. I'm not a big fan of Ezra Miller, so I hope that when he does,
how many times have we talked about that on our channel?
Well,
the guy's a loser.
He is, but like you can't blame James Gunn because he wasn't even part of it when that whole thing was going on. And I think I really hope that James Gunn goes in and is like, all right, no more of you, Ezra Miller. We're gonna get good, solid guys here that actually outside of acting will be good people and won't usually mess up or do anything bad. And I think that's kind of what Marvel has. I mean, is kind of going down a little bit. And I just really, I think he's done a really fantastic job, but that's besides the point. And that I think is going to be one of our ending notes here. As we are coming up to the end of the show. I know we could go so much longer.
Thousands of hours of this.
I know. We're shooting for right now almost an hour and a half, it looks like, if my math is correct, of pure content. But guys, if you loved this, if you liked what you heard and made it through it, guys, please like it. And hit the like button or give the 5-star button or whatever, as well as
or dislike it and tell us why you dislike it, so we know.
True. I there has been some people who gave us thumb down on comments, and that's totally fine. But give us a little feedback.
Yeah,
I am open to feedback. Criticism. Positive criticism, and I take that usually pretty well. At least try to.
We're very coachable.
Yes, because we. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. If you made it through here, we love you guys. We hope you guys have a great day. May God bless you this week, and yeah, we love you.
Love you too, guys.
I don't have. All right.
Ladies and
You're
gentlemen,
listening to the Double G Show. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. at The Goof and Goober Show. And why don't you check out our Instagram page at The Goof and Goober Show for even more content and drop a follow. Thanks again, and have a wonderful day.